to or welcome back to my channel. I'm AJ Thomas. I'm a young author and content creator, with a passion for books, movies, and TV shows, really anything with a good story. Today is a really special day though. It is the first day of Mermaid Week, hence the makeup. I tried to make the gold look like scales and the gold kind of silver just be pretty. And all the blue because of mermaids and blue nails, and I kind of tried to have my hair up cutely. I'm not the best. And look, there's some blue and purple in my hair. So it's Mermaid Week. Today we were actually, I have my script I'm looking at that just disconnected. Sorry. Let's get back to the script. It's Mermaid Week. The first movie is Splash, which is a romantic comedy about a mermaid named Madison and a human named Alan. Starring Tom Hanks and Hannah Darrell, I think is how you pronounce her name. If I'm wrong, correct me. So let's get actually into the movie. Let's just jump right into it. So the movie is a romantic comedy, as I said, about a woman named Madison, a human named Alan. And Alan is somebody who's never truly experienced love, doesn't really know how to experience it. The only person he even really cares about is his brother, Freddie. His dad's dead. We don't really hear about his mom. But he wasn't even really close with his parents. And the movie starts with his, as he describes her, really hot, really perfect girlfriend who he's just genuinely not in love with, even though in every single way she's perfect. And he decides to go on a trip to a place to Cape Cod, I think it's what it's called. A place where as a child he was saved by a mermaid. Well, he's told, that's not really a mermaid. It really was. And that was the mermaid Madison. And he goes back to this place, the exact same place where the boat was, and he ends up pissing off a scientist who attacks him with his boat. This guy is crazy. And Alan ends up getting knocked out and drowning, but he is saved by Madison. He calls after her, telling her that his name is Alan and that he wants to talk to her, and she should give him his number so that they can talk. And she just swims away, not saying a word. A little while later, though, he gets a call from the police station that a naked woman had asked for him, and that was Madison. Well, she hadn't gotten the name Madison yet. She didn't even have a name at this point. So he goes and he picks her up, and they're like, what's her name? And he's like, I don't know, but I know her. And they end up going back to his apartment and having a nice time, so much that he doesn't even want to go home. Not home. He doesn't want to go to work. He doesn't want to leave home to go to work. Sorry, I'm scrolling my script. He ends up having to go to work, though, and she leaves to go. He ends up having to go to work, so Madison ends up going shopping for new clothes because she wants to look pretty for him. And she sees him on TV, and that's how women should dress. And he comes and he picks her up from the movie station, and then this time she's learned English, and they decide, she sees a sign that says Madison. She says he wants that to be her name, which Alan responds with, that's not a human name, because at this point Madison was not a name he gave girls. It was either a last name, a street name, or like honestly a boy's name. It wasn't a normal name for girls. So Madison, the character, popularized the name Madison. So just so that you know, you might be kind of named after a mermaid. Pretty cool. It is like, if you look up the name Madison, the movie is actually like says it inspired the name. Alan and her get really close, and he asks her to marry him, and she is undecisive. She doesn't know. She runs off, becoming extremely scared, but she ends up finding him the next day and saying that she wants to get married. And Alan is like, oh my god, yes, absolutely, I want to marry you so bad. I truly do love you, even though I've never loved anyone else in my whole life. And so, but on the day that they're supposed to get married, they go to a party, and the scientist, ends up seeing them again and instantly recognizes her. But through the whole movie, he's trying to catch her. So this is just like the big moment where he actually does. And literally seconds after, a big van pulls up and they pull her in and they kidnap her. And Alan is shocked. He is scared. He is sad. Like, he's a whole bunch of emotions. He feels betrayed that Madison didn't tell him, even though for a while in the movie she had been trying to tell him. Yeah, and so Freddie, his brother, ends up being like, dude, this girl's the best thing that ever happened to you. She loves you so much. Like, go be with your girl. And Alan realizes that Freddie is correct, and he heads to go get with her. And they break out Madison with the help of the scientist guy, who regrets what he did when he finds out that Madison will be killed. And we'll get into characters in a minute. To escape, Madison has to go back into the water. She tells him that she would have stayed, and she tells him that there's a way that he could come with her, but he would never be able to come back. Alan agrees to do this because he loves her so much and doesn't want to be out without her. So he gives up the two things that he loved in the movie before this, which was his job and his brother, to go be with this girl. And it's a really sweet movie about two very different people meeting, falling in love, bonding over similar and different things that connect them. Both truly willing to give up a lot of things to be together, including their own homes and the people that they love in those homes. Now, let's get into a couple of characters in the movie. Madison, who is the mermaid character, I really do love her as a character. She's super sweet, she's super smart, and she does have this naivety to her, but it doesn't come off childish, which I think is really important for the fact that she is a grown woman. So, like, she comes out like a fish out of water, but she doesn't come off as childish. She comes off as mature and smart and brave. And she doesn't know about things, but again, it doesn't come off as she's a child, which I think is really important when you have her have a love interest. And she has opinions, she gets angry, and she has moments where she has these very human emotions to show you that she is half human, and she is not a child. She's a grown woman who is just a little bit, doesn't know a lot about the world that she's in right now. Alan, who is Tom Hanks's character, is a little bit more complicated. Of course, he is the human character, and he is the main character. He is somebody who's never experienced love, as I said before. He is sheltered, and honestly, his older brother is a complete womanizer. His dad was kind of similar in a way. He didn't have a super close relationship with his mother. One of the only women figures in his life is now, like, barely remembers anything. She was struck by lightning. And his girlfriend breaks up with him. Like, he's given up on love. He's given up on finding somebody who he truly connects with. And then Madison shows up and he's like, wow, this beautiful, extraordinary woman is in my life. And he wants to hold on to it for as long as possible, even willing to leave his home and his family. And I think that he is a character who grows and changes throughout the movie, which I think is very important, especially even for a rom-com. I also like that he doesn't approve of Freddie's womanizer behaviors. Like, he calls him out on it, and, like, this is not the way to treat people. Like, you're not being a good person, even though he does love his brother. think it's very cute. It's a very happy movie. If you're in the mood for just a really quick and happy rom-com, I think this is a one to go for. It is genuinely just such a good time. And let's get into kind of the background of the movie. A lot of people believe that it is based on the movie that I will be talking about later in this week called Miranda. And I can kind of see that in the fact that Madison is very flirty, but she's only flirty towards Tom Hanks' character. In Miranda's movie, she's flirty towards everyone. Yeah. And here are some things I wish the movie had kind of done a little different. I wish we had gotten to see more of Madison and Alan's characters together. We saw a lot of them doing different things, but not as much of them together as I would like. I wish that they had made Freddie less of a creep. I kind of think that Freddie falls into like the fat person who's a complete creep, which I know that sometimes like it's okay. Like baby reindeer, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And fat people of course are nuanced people, and they of course can be mean and horrible, but they can also be really nice. And I think that back then there were a lot of creepy fat people portrayed in TV shows, and I just don't like that much. Yeah, and there's a sequel to this movie that I will also cover, which kind of contradicts this, so we'll talk about that in the next video. These are not going to be really long review videos. They're kind of just reviews on the movie. Yeah. Oh, and before we go, we can talk a little bit about Tom Hanks, because I really do. I'm thinking of doing a couple. So to end this part about the movie, I would like to say I would probably rate the movie about like a 7.5. It's a really cute, good rom-com. It's not a perfect movie, of course not, especially for a movie as old as it. There are moments where you're like, ooh, different time, different place. So yeah. That's my opinion on the movie. And thank you for watching the whole video. Like, subscribe if you liked the video. Check out my TikTok and my Instagram that are linked. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye!